What happens when Gavin Newsom makes a bold and controversial statement during an interview that leaves everyone stunned? And how does Charlie Kirk's response change the entire tone of the conversation, teaching us a lesson we didn't see coming? Stick around because this will challenge what you think, and leave you questioning everything. The exchange begins with a composed but pointed question from Charlie Kirk addressing one of the more pressing issues California has faced in recent years. Governor Newsom, thank you for joining me today. California has faced devastating wildfires year after year, displacing thousands of lives, families, and communities. Many have called this the new normal. My question is, what has your administration done specifically to address this crisis and truly support those who have suffered from it? Gavin Newsom sits upright, calm as always, his tone polished and measured. Thank you, Charlie. First of all, I want to acknowledge the bravery and dedication of our emergency responders, firefighters, and community organizations. They've been incredible. My administration has prioritized wildfire prevention, allocating significant funding for fire mitigation strategies, forest management, and community preparedness. Additionally, we've provided financial relief directly to victims, so they can rebuild and recover. Charlie nods, but his eyes reveal a skepticism that tells the audience something deeper is coming. Governor, that all sounds admirable. But as you know, critics claim much of this has been reactive. They argue more could have been done to address the root causes of these fires. Forest mismanagement and delays in emergency responses have been frequently cited. What's your take on that criticism? Gavin offers a polite smile, tilting his head to consider the question. Charlie, the reality is that the root causes of fires like these are complex. Climate change is real, and its effects are far-reaching. Droughts, rising temperatures, unpredictable wind patterns. We're navigating a perfect storm in California. We're looking at systemic solutions for a systemic problem. Charlie leans forward slightly, as if preparing to deliver the follow-up question that every viewer knows is coming. Governor, I hear you say systemic solutions, but do you feel those solutions are being prioritized enough? Wildfires don't just destroy homes and land, they destroy hope. Many families feel their needs are being overshadowed by politics rather than urgent, tangible action. Gavin nods, his classic composure barely budging. Charlie, I understand the concerns, and I'll acknowledge there's always room to do more, but systemic change doesn't happen overnight. These efforts require collaboration, funding, and above all time. The conversation seems to reach a lull. But Charlie Kirk, true to form, pivots. Suddenly, Governor, I'd like to shift gears here and discuss another pressing issue. Recently, there's been a national uproar over book bans in schools. Parents are expressing concerns about the type of content their children are exposed to, specifically books with sexually explicit or overly graphic material. You've been vocal in opposing these bans, calling them regressive. Do you truly believe that removing books from schools based on parental concerns is harmful? Gavin doesn't miss a beat. Absolutely, Charlie. Book bans are dangerous because they set a precedent for intellectual suppression. Education is about encouraging curiosity and understanding the world, not coddling students from realities they'll eventually encounter anyway. By banning books, we risk creating a generation that lacks cultural literacy. Charlie counters, the intensity in his voice rising. With all due respect, Governor, many of these books include content that parents find deeply inappropriate for young minds. Shouldn't their voices matter? Isn't it their responsibility of an educational institution to support, not compete with, the morals many families are trying to teach their children? Gavin's tone remains even, but a flicker of irritation crosses his face. Charlie, parenting will always involve difficult conversations. Shielding children from material about love, relationships, and even the human experience is not the answer. Literature serves as a gateway to these conversations. Charlie's gaze sharpens. But what if what you call literature could be more accurately described as borderline pornography? Explicit language and graphic depictions shouldn't be part of a grade school library. Surely you can see the difference between fostering meaningful exploration and simply exposing kids to stuff. They're too young to process, and then Gavin makes the statement that brings the conversation to a screeching halt and sends shockwaves through the audience. Charlie, if we're being consistent, then we should look at the Bible. Have you read the Song of Solomon? By your standards, even the Bible contains material that could be deemed inappropriate for children. The effect is immediate. The weight of those words fills vessels. Gavin sits stiffly, but everyone watching knows the gravity of what he's just implied, religious or not. It's a line that few could have predicted he'd cross.